first experience in boarding school. We have these open spaces where you take shower. Almost the entire school came looking at me there without clothes. I can never forget that experience because it really made me wonder what was really wrong with me. And see, I was a young teenager, and here is more than 400 eyes like looking at me. I really felt down, and my esteem that I had really struggled to build on was totally dismantled. My grandmother is really one special person to me. I don't even call her grandmother anymore. I call her mother. She's practically raised me from zero. And for me, even when the world and the society was so cruel and so mean to me for being different, I would always remember there's someone who loves me unconditionally. Because I remember I was with my grandmother. She was always having confrontations with them, like, she's not Mzungu, she's called Jayne. So you see, to my grandmother, she really humanized me, while everybody else objectified me. Persons with albinism can be categorized as persons with disabilities. Without melanin, our vision is low. And in other countries, they say we are legally blind. So even with glasses, person with albinism cannot have 100% vision. I cannot stay long in the sun, because if I stay long in the sun, I'll get skin cancer. The other bit is albinism is also categorized as a rare condition. It affects a very small population of people, but our issues have also not been addressed. Traditionally, being born with albinism in many cultures was seen as a bad omen or a bad thing to that family, or even as a punishment from the gods. So traditionally, children with albinism would either be killed by midwives when they were born, or if they survive and that family is outcasted by the community because they're seen like this is really something terrible they've done for them to really get a child with albinism. I realized I was different from when I was very young. Even when I joined kindergarten, I knew I was different from other kids because first, the way everybody would stare at me. I remember there even mothers who would tell their children not to play with me because they could get albinism by playing with me. So for me, I knew I was different, and I also knew I was different in a negative way.
We are teaching a class with a new student.
With students with albinism.
With students with albinism. How will we put it that they don't see like we are talking about them?
My biology teacher literally skipped that subject, that unit, and moved to the last one because I was in that class. Do you think that was justice to me?
No.
Was it even justice to other learners?
No.
Why teach about sickle cell anemia and you can't talk about albinism? And the more we talk about it, the more even their classmates understand the conditions their colleagues have. You get what I mean? So, and...
No, you're actually looking at something that favors you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Then you're not choosing sides. You need to put your foot down and decide. Don't look at things that favors you. You see, like the way someone would think of having a kid or a sister or somebody with a condition like maybe blind or something like that. You know, albinism has always been ranked in the same. And you just have to find a way of running and carrying it along with you. So it has taught me that there's just no limitations to anything. Usually when you meet people with albinism, they actually act like they're trying to hide from the world. So I thought we were just kind of different.
She's amazing and super confident in everything she does. Her confidence is something which really stands out. That confidence in her really challenged me to be brave and do whatever I need to do in terms of making the world a better place for other people with albinism.
Put your hands together now and
You accept yourself for who you are. And at that point, even if anybody says what about your weakness, your self-esteem is always on top of the room. The minute I realized I couldn't live under what other people said about me, I started building my own story and my own life. So I started building on my personal esteem, and it would never be affected by what other people said about Jayne. So from self-awareness, I gained self-acceptance. I accepted myself for who I was, and with my flaws, which other people thought I had, I decided to make them opportunities for me. So for me, if you ask me if I have any flaws, I actually don't have any. I'm flawless. As long as you have albinism and you live in a society that is practicing witchcraft, you can never feel safe. I personally don't feel safe, and I know that's the story of so many other persons with albinism, because even when you walk on the streets, even here in Kenya, you'll hear people calling you banknotes. The common word they use in Kenya is pesa. Ndio hizo pesa, like there goes money. So when you hear such a statement, you know there's the potential of you being money. And I'm also never sure when my day will come, probably to be a victim.
Well, hello, everybody.
I was part of the Mandela Washington Fellowship 2015.
This young lady right here. Yeah, right here in the green and red. Yeah, you.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Jayne. I'm from Kenya, and I'm speaking on behalf of my brothers and sisters with albinism from Africa. As you may know, Mr. President, persons with albinism in Africa are being killed and their body parts harvested for ritual purposes. My request to you is to raise this issue with the heads of states from African countries to bring these atrocities to an end for the benefit of us, four of us in this room, and our brothers and sisters back in Africa. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you. Traditionally, people with disabilities are treated differently because people are ignorant. The idea that that a society would visit violence on people because of pigmentation, that's not a tradition that is worth preserving. That's tomfoolery. That's craziness. It's cruel.
He could really relate to what persons with albinism in Africa are going through, to what African Americans went through in the US during the struggle for equality. The Yali network came up with the hashtag albinism is humanism. If future leaders of this continent really believe albinism is humanism, who is out there to really treat us as if we are not humans? It is important to have issues of persons with albinism addressed so that we can also have a dignified life like any other person. Regardless of what your difference is, everybody should be embraced and dignified.